Hey, up right. Yes, keyboards have owned over the years. Well, it all started in around 1977. My dad had a Farfisa organ. That's when I first started getting interested in learning to play keyboards. Learned a few chords on that. Got together with a couple of mates who played guitar and bass. Because that's the only keyboard I had access to, we had to rehearse in our front room. And obviously after a while that were a bit thin with my parents, and we couldn't, I had to wait till they had to go out to rehearse. So I thought I'd better get a portable keyboard. So I went to the local music shop in Sheffield and saw a Vox Continental double manual with reverse keys. I thought, this is it. I had a chat with my dad, see if he'd guarantee for loan. It cost about, well, I think it cost about £300 and then another 150 for the amp combo, I think, I'm not sure. Or it might have been 350 all in, I don't know. Not sure. Anyway, got that. It weighed a ton. It weighed a ton. So we carted that round to each other's house when the parents went in. Then the band moved on, and I thought, right, I need another keyboard to go with this. So I went and had a look and saw a Moog Prodigy. In another shop in Sheffield, and I fell in love with it straight away. I thought, oh, Moog, I've got a Moog, or I can get a Moog. I could afford a Moog. It was about £250, I think, and I would have really liked a mini Moog, but that was way out of my price bracket. So anyway, got a loan for that, used that, and a few months later, could do with another keyboard. So I went and had another look back to the same shop in Sheffield, and they had a Roland RS09 string machine. But it also had an organ, mellow organ sound on it as well. So we had my Vox Continental, a Moog Prodigy and a Roland string machine. I thought, great, I'm set up now. And the band moved on again. I joined another band and we started to play things like Uri Heep and Deep Purple covers band. And for some reason I wanted another organ. I already had an organ, but I wanted another one for some reason. I can't think why. I went down to Carlsborough near Mansfield and had a Roland VK1 drawbar. And I got that and a Boss distortion pedal because I wanted to get an overdriven sound like John Lord. So I don't know why, I still don't know why, looking back, why I bought another organ. Anyway, I had that stood on my Vox Continental, and I'd made a wooden frame that sort of leant in the legs of the Vox Continental with two bolts. When we used to hire a PA, they used to call it the manger, this wooden thing. So you brought the manger, have you? Again. Anyway, I had that, and I had my Moog Prodigy and my string machine on top of that. And then a few months later, what do? You want another keyboard, don't you? So I fancied an electric piano. So I went down to Carlsborough again, near Mansfield, got a Wurlitzer electric piano. But it had 2 or 3 notes that were out of tune. But they said it's easy to fix. All you do is buy, do like little metal things about that big, if I remember. And hammer just hits them like where a piano hits these strings, it hits these things. And just a case of taking the lid off and just one screw, I think, held them in, and you just replaced them. You were fine after that. Then that band run its course, and I joined a Thunderchild, a band that were doing quite well in our area, as they were looking for a keyboard player, so I joined them. And I think I traded the going back to the Vox Continental. We were rehearsing once, and it started to smoke, and it just packed in working. It was quite funny at the time, but and I thought, well, I'll not having it repaired again, because I had it repaired about a year earlier, and it cost a fortune, and it were awkward, and they had it a while, so I thought, I've done with this, and I took it down to local skip and just chucked it in, down to local tip and chucked it away, and that was the end of that. So I needed a replacement, so I think I traded in the Wurlitzer electric piano for a Roland Juno6 polyphonic synthesizer. Which was my first polyphonic synthesizer. Yeah, it did the job. Great it was. Then the band. No, what happened to the band then? I decided I wanted another polyphonic synth. So to do with that, I bought an Alpha Juno2. That was it. I had an Alpha Juno2, Juno6, and Moog Prodigy and Roland string machine. And then when did digital synth start? The DX7 came out, didn't it? And I had a look at that. Now that didn't interest me for some reason. Well, it didn't have any buttons or switches on it, did it? It was just flat. So I didn't bother with that. And then D50 came out, and I tried that, and that was fairly flat, but it had buttons, actual buttons you could press, and it had a portamento slider, so you didn't have, so you could just put portamento on dead easy by a lever like a slider thing. But that way it was quite expensive, so I had to trade my Moog Prodigy and my string machine in to get it, I think, and my Juno6, that was it, and I still had to put some money towards it. So all I ended up with then, I had an Alpha Roland Juno2 and a D50. That was me set up then until about 1991, when I decided I'd had enough of playing at a band and gigs, so I packed it in basically, and had that sort of lying around in the spare bedroom, because I'd moved house by then. I had a spare bedroom, and I thought I'll go and trade it in, because I'd heard about it could get multi-timbral keyboards and get a sequencer to drive different MIDI channels. So I got a Roland JV30, it was 16-part multi-timbral, and an Alesis MMT8, and then I just started mucking around in bedroom, doing full tracks with what I could with bass sounds, drum sounds, keyboard sounds, whatever. But the thing with the Alesis MMT8, it didn't have its own memory, and you had to hook it up to a cassette player. When you got your sequence done, you're happy with it, you have to trust you have to play it back to a cassette player, the digital information. Then when you wanted to load it back in, you loaded it back from that and hoped that it recorded alright. So I used that for a few years, and then I've still got the JV30, and I'd heard about this Korg, is it 01W? Something like that, polyphonic synth. I think it was their flagship at the time, but I didn't buy it then. I had to wait a few years till they come down in price, and I bought a second hand one. And then I got a Korg Triton. Flogged the Korg Triton in the 01W, Korg 01W, and got a Korg Triton Extreme, which is down here at the shop. And then I gradually added these things here. So thanks for watching. I hope that all makes sense and you can understand my accent, and hopefully see you next time. Bye.